Assalamualaikum. I'm Huma Mughal, consultant clinical psychologist from Hyderabad Medical Complex, Department of Psychiatry and Behavioral Sciences. Today I'm going to talk about the fundamental topic, which is social distancing and its psychological consequences in our life, right? As I acknowledge that the psyche of the world is at stake and the things outside the world is not so pleasure and a bit discomfortable, but I'm going to talk about that how these two psychological things and consequences are going to impact in our life and in our psyche. The social distancing has its two psychological consequences. First is the isolation and the other is uncertainty, right? So which is making people a lot of panicky, and it is making the people anxiety which is skyrocketing and making people worrisome and to pessimistic about themselves and about the world and about the others, right? So in this video I will talk more about the isolation, and in my next video I will talk about the uncertainty, right? First I'm going to ask from you that what do you think about isolation, right? Because I'm going to teach you that how we can change the meaning we are gaining out of this isolation, right? And how we can make this isolation better for ourselves, and how we can things in a long-term goal and its long-term consequences, right? So first thing is that the meaning of isolation. What comes to your mind when you think about the isolation, right? A lot of people think that being in isolation means that it's being separated, it's being rejected, discriminated, and it's the perceived sense of worthlessness, I would say, right? So if you are thinking in a negative way at this particular situation, of course it is having the negative impact on your emotions, on your physiological reactions, your behavioral responses are going to be all in the contribution of the way you are thinking about it, the way you are attributing to this isolation. So let's reframe it, and let's make this journey better for you and more healthy for you. That isolation is mean that you are being protected, right? You are being cared, and which is the healthy process. And this is how you can make this journey a more productive and more healthy for you. And just let's revise some of the goal in your mind, right? That why you are here, question yourself, right? And what is your goal is going to be here, right? Ask yourself that why I am here and what benefit I can give to myself at this particular time and situation, right? And what benefit I am giving to others, to whom I love, to whom I care. When your mind will get the clarity, it will lessen down your anxiety. It will make you stay in isolation in quarantine a bit better, because now you are thinking on the goal which is more better and which is crucial and which is bigger than anything else at this particular time. Because in the crisis, our mindset is very important, our perspective, the way we are perceiving the things, the way we are attaching and attributing the meaning to it, it is very fundamental. So if you change the meaning from this negative attribution to some healthy and helpful attribution, it is going to change the way you are feeling at this particular situation, the way you are behaving, and the way you want to behave at this particular situation, and your internal physiological responses, your hormonal and your chromosomes level, it's all going to be changed, the way you are thinking, the way you are attributing to it, right? So let's talk about that how you can make this catastrophe and the negative thinking more healthy and helpful for you. Is first you are going to ask that is it the end of the world, right? Is it the end of the world? Seriously, it's just the one part of the life which has disturbed, right, which has caused disruption. but what is your responsibility is going to be here, how you can make it more productive for you, right? And what is the worst will happen, right? So you have to imagine the worst case scenario, that worst will happen at this time, right? And if that worst happen, how you are going to cope. So indirectly you are actually training your mind to get ready for the worst, right? And you know, it's your mental preparation, that you know that this can be possibility, this is the likelihood that can happen, right? That is the one thing. And if that happens, how you are going to cope with it, that is very important. So readiness of your mind toward anything, it makes your anxiety to go down, because what is uncontrollable, what is unpredictable is so much create chaos and catastrophe. When you have prime your mind, when you have set your mind toward all the possibilities, right? So you can cope with it, because external situation would never be so much good, right? But how you are going to cope and adapt with that external situation is all going to the contribution of your own mind, that how you are producing the products from your mind. If you are producing the product which is healthy, it will make your journey at this situation healthy. If it is producing the unhealthy stuff and products, it will make your journey a bit worse and a bit discomfortable, right? So uh, so this is the time how you are reframing your mind, how you are changing the perspective, the way you are looking at it, and how you are dealing and adapt it at this particular situation. So let's revise your goal, right? And let's reponder and explore what is wrong going here, and how you can make it correct by questioning yourself and by generating the healthy and helpful thoughts from your mind, and keep the focus on the goal which is bigger than anything else. It will help you to reduce anxiety. Along with that, a lot of breathing exercises, that how you can reduce your physiological responses and how you can dial them down. And the other important thing is that there's anyone without a degree of mental toughness ought to be able to exist without the things they like the most for a few months at least, which actually increase their tolerance and their mental toughness, and which actually bring the compassion into them. So I would encourage you, you can do more to yourself, you can benefit a lot to others and your loved one. So stay healthy, right? And always keep check and count on what's going wrong here and how you can make it a change and different. Thank you.